If the sun disappears for months, why does the Arctic sky still glow? In the heart of winter, the Arctic enters a strange twilight zone. The sun doesn't rise for weeks, sometimes months, casting the land into what should be total darkness. You'd expect pitch-black skies, an endless night that blankets the frozen landscape. But something unexpected happens. Even without sunlight, the sky glows. Faint hues of green, blue, violet, and even golden tones shimmer across the horizon. Sometimes they pulse like breathing light. Other times, they float silently overhead like ghostly curtains. And no, it's not just the Aurora Borealis. So, what's really going on? In today's video, we journey into the frozen edge of the world to uncover the secrets behind this haunting glow. We'll explore what science knows and what it doesn't. From atmospheric ice crystals and solar winds to ancient beliefs passed down through Arctic tribes, this is a story where nature, mystery, and wonder collide. Get ready to see the Arctic like never before. The Arctic isn't just cold. It's a world defined by extremes. One of the most surreal of these is the polar night. Above the Arctic Circle, the sun disappears entirely for days, weeks, or even months. In places like Tromsø, Norway, or Utqiagvik, Alaska, residents enter a period where the sky remains dark 24/7. It's not a cloudy day. It's a true absence of daylight. But here's where things get strange. Even during the deepest phase of polar night, people report a faint glow hovering just above the horizon. A light that isn't coming from the sun, at least not directly. It's soft, cool, and eerily beautiful. Not enough to light your way, but enough to make you wonder. This glow sometimes shifts in color. At times, it's pale blue. At others, it has a golden or greenish hue, like a distant sunrise that never quite arrives. It's been described as phantom twilight, and it occurs even when the sun is several degrees below the horizon. So, what's causing it? Is it reflected sunlight from the upper atmosphere? Is it the result of ice particles, or is something else at play? Something stranger? Before we dive into the auroras and halos, let's first understand what modern science says about this unnatural light. To understand the Arctic's eerie glow, we have to look beyond what we can see and into the upper atmosphere. Even when the sun stays far below the horizon, its light doesn't vanish entirely. Instead, it bounces, bends, and scatters through Earth's atmosphere in ways we don't experience in most parts of the world. One key factor is Rayleigh scattering, the same effect that makes the sky blue during the day. Tiny particles in the upper atmosphere scatter the sun's rays in all directions, and some of that light gets redirected toward the poles, even when the sun isn't visible. But there's more. The Arctic's extreme cold creates unique atmospheric conditions. Ice crystals, suspended in the upper layers of the troposphere, act like microscopic mirrors. These crystals reflect sunlight that originates far beyond the horizon, light we'd never normally see. The result? A soft, low-level illumination that feels otherworldly. This is sometimes called civil twilight light spill, or polar twilight diffusion, and it can persist for hours, even days before the sun technically returns. Then there's the role of the ionosphere, a layer of charged particles high above the Earth. This region interacts with solar radiation and geomagnetic fields, subtly glowing with energy in ways our eyes barely perceive. This phenomenon may contribute to the faint, almost electric shimmer reported by Arctic explorers. Another theory? Volcanic aerosols and even stratospheric dust from distant deserts like the Sahara. These particles can travel thousands of miles and interact with sunlight at high altitudes, enhancing the scattered light that finds its way to the poles. NASA and ESA satellites have even captured airglow, a faint emission of light caused by chemical reactions in the upper atmosphere. It's present all over Earth, but in the darkness of the Arctic, it becomes visible to the naked eye. So, is the Arctic glow just scattered sunlight? Not exactly. It's a delicate mix of optical science, atmospheric physics, and magnetic energy, layered together in a natural spectacle that's still not fully understood. Next, let's explore the most famous and most misunderstood Arctic light phenomenon of all, the Aurora Borealis. If the Arctic glow is strange, then the Aurora Borealis is pure magic. Also known as the Northern Lights, the aurora is a natural light display that can fill the sky with shimmering green, purple, blue, and red waves. But this isn't sunlight, moonlight, or any light you'd expect. It's space weather. The aurora begins 93 million miles away, on the surface of the sun. Massive solar storms release charged particles, electrons, and protons that travel across space in what we call the solar wind. When these particles reach Earth, most are deflected by our planet's magnetic field, but not at the poles. At the Arctic and Antarctic, the magnetic field lines bend downward, funneling these particles toward Earth's upper atmosphere. There, at altitudes of 80 to 500 kilometers, the particles collide with atoms of oxygen and nitrogen, releasing bursts of energy light. Oxygen emits green or red. Nitrogen glows purple or blue. The result is a glowing curtain that dances, shifts, and breathes across the night sky. But here's what many people don't realize. The aurora is not just a show. It's a living signal of space activity. Solar flares, coronal mass ejections, and geomagnetic storms all affect its intensity and color. In fact, the northern lights can interfere with satellites, radio signals, and even power grids. And unlike most weather events, auroras can appear even during the deepest, darkest parts of polar night. No sun required. In some places, the aurora is a daily visitor. In others, it shows up without warning, dazzling observers before fading into the cold silence. For centuries, people believed it was a divine message. The Sami people of Scandinavia feared the lights, believing they were the souls of the dead. Inuit legends spoke of spirits playing games in the sky, a celestial dance of life and death. Today, we understand much more about the aurora's science. But somehow, knowing the physics doesn't take away the wonder. If anything, it makes the Arctic sky even more beautiful and more mysterious. Next, let's explore the strange illusions of light pillars and halos that appear during the coldest nights. Not all Arctic light comes from the heavens. Some of it forms right above our heads. When temperatures plunge below -30 degrees Celsius, the air over the Arctic becomes saturated with tiny hexagonal ice crystals. These crystals don't fall like snowflakes, they float in the air, suspended like microscopic mirrors. And when any light source, the moon, distant towns, or even starlight shines through them, something amazing happens. You get light pillars. These vertical beams of light appear to rise from the ground or hang from the sky, glowing white, gold, or even bluish pink. They look supernatural, as if a UFO is descending or a portal has opened above the snow. And then there are the polar halos. Halos are perfect circles or arcs of light that surround the sun or moon, even when those celestial bodies are completely out of sight. They're caused by the same floating ice crystals, bending and refracting the light in just the right way to create luminous rings, sundogs, and even mock suns. Together, these illusions can light up the sky in the absence of actual sunlight. Some explorers have called the effect phantom dawn, a moment when the world seems to glow without a source. These rare events often blend with auroras and scattered atmospheric light, creating surreal skies that defy explanation and leave scientists, photographers, and mystics alike in awe. Up next, let's step back in time to see how ancient Arctic cultures interpreted these mysterious lights. Long before satellites and solar physics, Arctic peoples looked to the glowing sky with awe and fear. For the Sami people of Northern Europe, the aurora was more than light, it was sacred. Some believed it was the soul fire of ancestors, dancing above to watch over the living. Others warned never to whistle or wave at the lights, doing so could attract spirits or anger them. In Greenland and Alaska, Inuit legends describe the aurora as spirits playing games, sometimes with a walrus skull, sometimes with the heads of the dead. A chilling thought, wrapped in beauty. Even the faint, colorless Arctic glow held power. To some tribes, the white shimmer during polar night was a warning, a sign that the veil between worlds was thinning. That light, they believed, could guide hunters safely, or lure them into the ice forever. These stories weren't superstition, they were survival codes, passed through generations. In a world of total darkness, light meant hope or danger. And while science offers explanations, it doesn't replace the meaning. To this day, many Arctic residents feel something deeper when the sky glows, as if the land itself is whispering. If you're enjoying this journey through Arctic mysteries, don't forget to subscribe to Global Wonders Unveiled and turn on notifications. We uncover the world's most hidden places, ancient cultures, and unexplained wonders, all without ever showing a face. New videos every week. Stay curious. For all our satellites, sensors, and data models, the Arctic sky still keeps secrets. Scientists know how auroras form and how light scatters in the atmosphere, but not everything adds up. There are nights when no solar activity is recorded, yet the sky still glows faintly. In some cases, unusual pulses of light have been observed in remote regions with no clear source. One theory suggests a link to cosmic rays, or even electromagnetic activity deep within Earth's crust. Others propose interactions between the ionosphere and low-frequency sound waves, a phenomenon not fully understood. And then there are the stories, first-hand accounts from pilots and Arctic researchers who describe seeing the sky shimmer without auroras, without light pillars, and without twilight. We can measure particles and chart magnetic fields, but when it comes to these rare events, nature still has the upper hand. If you spent a week in total Arctic darkness, would you feel peace or fear? Tell us what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and send it to a friend who loves mysteries as much as you do. Even in the coldest, darkest corners of our planet, light finds a way. The Arctic sky isn't empty, it's alive. It glows with energy, memory, and mystery. And sometimes what we don't fully understand is what makes the world so beautiful. See you next time.